But to begin with, there's The Falcon and the Snowman, John Schlesinger's new film based on the true story of a pair of well-to-do, middle-class young Americans who spent 2 years spying for the Russians and were sent to prison for their pains. Timothy Hutton plays Christopher Boyce, alias the Falcon, on account of his habit of breeding and training hawks. And Sean Penn is Dalton Lee, just as appropriately known as the Snowman because of his rather less healthy habit of taking and dealing in cocaine. It was Hutton Boyce who began the spying operation while working in California for a top-secret government agency that monitored intelligence-gathering satellites. One day he discovered, to his amazement and horror, that the CIA had been interfering in Australian politics and had probably engineered the dismissal of the Liberal Prime Minister Gough Whitlam. This, he felt, was not cricket and decidedly un-American, and so, inspired more by idealism than treachery, he decided to filter secret information to the Russian embassy in Mexico. His courier and go-between was the manic addict Dalton Lee, Sean Penn, whose drug-dealing activities had attracted the stern disapproval of the law. Right, so that's the background, and here now is the director of the film, John Schlesinger.
I think what was essential about Chris Boyce is that one found an actor who had intelligence, a kind of sardonic humor, but above all had a great deal going on inside, that you felt that everything wasn't revealed to you instantly, because Chris Boyce is a very intelligent man.
I began to speak to him every day on the telephone for 4 months. After about 3 weeks, he agreed to a visit, so I went to visit him. And my whole day was revolved around this one telephone call at 1 o'clock, where the operator would call and say, "I have a collect call from Christopher Boyce. Do you pay for the charges?" And I would say yes, and then he'd say, "How you doing?" And we would start talking. And afterward, I would frantically take notes about what he said, and then I would go out in the late afternoon and fly Falcons with some people that I got in touch with that actually flew Falcons with Chris when he was younger. The same people. Then, at night, write about some more what Chris had told me that day, think of questions that I was going to ask him the next day, wake up in the morning, think more about it, fly Falcons, come back around noon or so, prepare for the phone call, and this went on for 4 months.
You want a mole in the CIA? Well, you find somebody else. I have a life apart from all this, unlike you. You know, we waited a very long time to meet you. And we've put up with more than anyone should ever have to. You owe us. Owe you? Owe you? Christopher, you remember one thing. Impulsively or not, you came to us, we didn't come to you. And whether you realize it or not, you are a professional. The moment you accepted money, you became a professional. You can't leave here tonight free of it all any more than I can. Did you really think you could? It's not over, Christopher. It's just beginning.
It didn't bother me that detailed relationship of getting to know the person, getting inside their head, because it helped the film in the end. I mean, there is a time when you have to draw a line and say, okay, this is what I have found out, now I have to interpret the rest.
One of the more astonishing aspects of the story is that these two former Catholic altar boys, one wishing to make a statement of conscience, the other wishing only to make a lot of money to support his cocaine and heroin business, carried on spying for the Russians undetected for the best part of 2 years. Security at the establishment where Hutton worked must have been appallingly lax. At one point, he even told his girlfriend about his espionage activities, and she refused to believe him. He and Penn might presumably have carried on their double life forever had not Penn, who'd graduated from using cocaine to heroin, thus converting himself from snowman to horseman, grown increasingly unstable, and had not Hutton become as disillusioned by the Russians as he was by the Americans. The Soviet, he concluded, was as paranoid and dangerous as the USA, and so he began the ultra-perilous game of double dealing. It's a bizarre tale altogether, whose faint air of unreality is very nicely caught by Mr. Schlesinger and by the contrasting performances of the intense, tight-lipped Timothy Hutton and the strutting, manic-depressive Sean Penn. Where the film suffers is from a certain glibness in the script. The involvement of the two obviously mismatched protagonists is never satisfactorily explained, and the overall style is often uneven, with Penn's coked-up antics in and around the Russian embassy occasionally bordering on farce. Well, maybe that's how it was, truth being, as we're frequently reminded, a good deal weirder than fiction. The result is a film which leaves you not entirely sure what to make of Messrs. Hutton and Penn, and yet grips the attention throughout. However, here's a sample of the effect of having a drug dealer in the family.
Yeah. Let me get on the other phone, okay? David, can you hang this up?
Thank you.
Oh, there.
Yeah, I got a buyer. 5 ounces, 8,500.
Wait a minute, Clay. 5 ounces?
That's what you said, man. All set.
4 ounces is what I said, not 5. No way. But you go back to the bargaining table, and you tell them that it's their mistake. They misunderstood, all right? Something else about this house. It's totally solar heated.
When in God's name is it gonna stop?
What?
I will not have dope deals made in this house.
What dope deals?
When is it gonna stop?
I'm not dealing dope anymore. I'm out of it.
You jumped bail, you disappeared. Probation people call us night and day. The cops have our house under surveillance.
No, they do not.
You miss Christmas by a week and you come back with all this junk.
You want to know what I was doing?
And you're not here an hour and then you're
You
on
want to
the
know what I
phone
was
making
doing?
the goddamn
You want to know what
dope
I was doing?
deals.
Top secret, Brad.
No,
Believe me.
I'm
I was
sick
working
and
for the
tired of it.
government, the CIA. I was working for the CIA. Me.
Christopher Boyce and Dalton Lee are currently serving sentences of life and 40 years, so they're going to be in prison for a long time.